When you look at the numbers, the average salary for an entry-level creative is around £24,000. And when you break down expenses, rent, bills, groceries, it's clear that it isn't a lot to live on, especially in a city like London where costs are sky high. It's no wonder that so many junior creatives are struggling to make ends meet. And here's another sombering statistic. Only 177 agencies are accredited as real living wage employers. And that suggests that many junior creatives find themselves in a position where their compensation may not fully meet their essential living costs. When it comes to accessing opportunity, more needs to be done outside London, plain and simple. Despite the undeniable talent and creativity that thrives up north, the creative industry often overlooks these regions. I think it's time we shift the spotlight and recognize the wealth of potential that exists beyond the capital, ensuring that aspiring creatives across the country have equal access to opportunity for growth and success. Let me take you back to 2022, a time when I found myself on the hunt for a new creative role. Now, I live in Birmingham, and I was eager to find something closer to home, to be part of the creative energy that I knew existed beyond the confines of the capital. But what I found was disheartening, to say the least. There simply weren't many junior opportunities available in my local area. And those that did crop up often came with a catch. They paid less than I could afford to live on. And I can't lie, it's a bit of a tough pill to swallow. Realizing that in order to pursue my passion, I would have to endure a time-consuming and expensive commute to the capital. And whilst I don't regret my decision, mainly because my team are currently sat in the room, I can't help but wonder about those who don't have the means or the desire to make such a move. And the truth is, there's a wealth of talent and creativity waiting to be tapped into outside of London. From Manchester to the cultural hub of Newcastle, there are communities brimming with untapped potential, just waiting for the right opportunity to come along. Let's talk about access. Access to opportunity, access to pathways, access to a foot in the door. And when it comes to the creative industry, I can't help but feel we're missing the mark a bit. Sure, I think there are so many countless programs out there offering alternative routes into the industry. But here's the thing, there's still a barrier that stands in our way for many junior creatives eager to break into the industry, but finding themselves hitting roadblocks at every turn. When you think about it, with hundreds of applicants vying for a handful of spots, the competition is fierce. And while these programs are undeniably valuable, they're not always accessible to everyone. What about those who don't live in London? What about those who can't afford to work for free as an intern in most cases? And for me, this is where agencies come in. They have the power to change the game, to open doors to those who might not have had the same opportunities as others. And yet, all too often, we see the same old hiring practices, the same old criteria that effectively shut out so many talented individuals. Over the past 3 months, I've had the privilege of chatting with numerous junior creatives, each with their own unique stories and experiences. And yet, as much as I've learned and as many conversations I've had, I can't help but feel there's so much more to explore. You see, the 3 topics that I've quickly discussed today are just the tip of the iceberg. They're emblematic of the broader issues facing junior creatives in our industry, from diversity and inclusion to mental health support, from ethical advertising to creative entrepreneurship. The list goes on and on and on. But here's the thing, all these topics are interconnected. The struggles of low pay and limited opportunities often stem from issues of access and representation. When we fail to provide equitable pathways into the industry, when we overlook the talents and perspectives of marginalized communities, we perpetuate a cycle of inequality that affects us all. So yes, while I wish I could spend even more time delving into all of these issues, the reality is there's only so much one person can do. That's why it's essential for all of us, industry leaders, senior creatives, and junior talents alike. We need to come together and address these challenges head on. And because I am such a gem, I'm going to tell you what things you can do, especially if you're an agency, to open doors to even more talent. We've explored the challenges facing junior creatives, and I think it's clear we can't afford to stand still and hope for change. We must actively seek out the solutions that address the root causes of these issues and pave the way for a brighter future for all. Junior creators deserve to be compensated for their skills and contributions. It's time that all agencies recognize the value they bring to the table and offer truly competitive salaries that reflect this. Agencies like Pablo and St. Luke's are setting commendable examples by establishing minimum salaries of £30,000 for their teams. This not only demonstrates a commitment to fair compensation, but it also helps attract and retain top talent. However, I do think this shouldn't be the exception, but rather the norm across the industry. By advocating for better pay standards, we can ensure junior creatives are financially empowered to pursue their passions and thrive in their careers. While London may be the epicenter of the creative industry, talent exists in abundance beyond its borders. It's essential for agencies to broaden their horizons and tap into talent in regions like the north of England. One initiative I think is leading the way is the VCCP Stoke Academy, which is dedicated to unlocking opportunities for creatives in Staffordshire, not London. By expanding such programs and initiatives nationwide, we can create more diverse and inclusive creative ecosystems that reflect the richness of talent across the UK. The traditional recruitment process often poses barriers that hinder aspiring creatives from entering the industry, particularly those from underrepresented backgrounds. It's time to reimagine the process and create more inclusive pathways for entry. By removing systemic barriers and opening doors to individuals who may not fit the conventional mold, we can unlock the untapped potential of aspiring talents. Initiatives aimed at providing mentorship, training, and networking opportunities can play a pivotal role in leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone has equal access to opportunity in the creative industry. I also think we should leverage the expertise of organizations dedicated to supporting junior creatives. These are just some of the organizations that play a crucial role in providing resources, mentorship, and networking opportunities to aspiring talents. And I think larger agencies can amplify their impact by sponsoring and collaborating with them to help extend their reach and support them to a broader audience. And finally, a cheeky call to action. Let's work together. The Junior is on a mission to empower young creatives and champion their voices in the industry. For our events and workshops, we aim to provide valuable opportunities for junior creatives to learn, grow, and succeed. We're passionate about collaborating with agencies and industry partners to create meaningful impact and drive positive change. And I hope you can join us in shaping the future of the creative industry and building a more inclusive and equitable environment for all. Thank you.